So it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Yeah, it was a total surprise to see your comments in my email.
Yeah,
And why don't you take a couple of minutes and tell me something about your background? I see that you're full of linguistics
yeah,
connections
yeah, yeah,
in your
absolutely. So,
studies.
yeah, I am originally from Senegal, West
Mm,
Africa. So I came to UK in the early 2000s to pursue my career in linguistics. So I did my degree. Well, I had a degree there and a master's already, but I had to redo it because they said because your degree is in French, you need to redo everything. I did my degree, master's, PhD, all in linguistics. So I'm really interested in linguistics. As for my Islamic background, I was a what they call a Sunnah, so very traditional Sunni Muslim. But when I
mhm.
came here to the West, my perspective changed. Okay, so background Sunni Muslim. So I came to UK. My perspective changed because I was researching uh, the Quran, but at a deeper level, not just the superficial, usual level, because it's never made sense to me. Never. So yeah, it's never made sense to me. Like looking at reading the Quran, literally. So when I came into contact with lunatics
Oh, you have it.
and this one,
Oh, okay. All right.
and I've got a third one, which is the Salah book. I've got it,
Yes,
PDF. You
okay.
sent me.
Okay. PDF, yes.
Yes, yes. Those three are
Excellent.
my weapons of mass instruction.
Instruction,
Yeah,
right. I
yeah,
love it. I love it. I love it.
yeah. So it made sense to me. Therefore, what I did was I started doing it on my own, looking at the meanings of words in the Quran, but starting from the seed itself, like you instruct, and it makes more sense because not only do you see it in Arabia, you also see it in different languages that you speak. Like my native languages, they're full of phonetics. Yeah, um, yeah, full of phonetics. So I gave you the example of the suffix yum for anything that is liquid in the Fulani language, which is one of my native languages. So anything liquid ends in yam. So I said to myself, this can't be a coincidence because al yam in the Quran is anything to do with water, emotions, right? So blood, my language is ndiam, milk is kosyam. What else did I? Yeah, blood is iyam, kosam, ndiam. Any liquid is in yam. So I went through a phase though, a phase where I was rebelling a little bit. Before I knew that the current Arabs were not the real Arabs. I was rebelling a little bit because if I confront people saying, how come it's yum and it's yum in the Quran, it coincides, they say, oh no, it's influenced from Arabic. I said, no. How can something as primitive as blood or water or milk be borrowed from other languages? It has to be native to that language because it's primitive. It's kosam, diam, blood. So I said to myself, no, the Arabs didn't. After I read this book, I think it's got an English version. It's got an English version. Yeah. But I can't hear you though. I know you can hear me, but I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
You called it right. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Yes, okay,
So
great.
Diop,
Ante Diop. Yeah, yeah, he's very well known in the United States.
yeah, he's Senegalese. So I read his book, and he said that in that part we call Arabia, it was populated with black people, blacker than Bilal.
That's
So
right.
Bilal, the only one that they're saying was black. So they were blacker than him there. So he said it. So that's why I said I calmed down a little bit when I heard that. So
Yes.
yeah.
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 And
So yeah.
the current Arabs
Mm-hmm.
are actually more Turkish
Mm-hmm.
than anything else. And there was a kind of coup d'etat that took place that
Yes.
replaced those very black-skinned Arabs, the original Arabs, whose
Yes.
pictures are on various walls and other parts of ancient Arabia. The
Yeah.
pictures of these black people riding horses uh,
Yeah.
with no cultural white
Mm-hmm.
dress and head coverings and all of these
Yeah.
things. And one of the things that I say, I have a book called The Etymology of Marriage.
Yeah.
And in that book, I talk about how you can tell whether a people are actually native to that land or not by how
Mm-hmm.
they dress.
Yeah.
Because Allah would not put a people in a part of a land or a part of the earth where they had to suffer on a daily basis because the sun was too hot. The
Yeah.
places that are extremely warm or extremely hot on this planet have people who can walk around bare-breasted and barebacked.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even need shirts
No.
because their melanin is acclimated to the weather. See,
Absolutely.
so when you look at the people who have to wear all of this regalia, all of this gear, the head and got to
Yeah.
be head to toe and
Yeah.
all of that, and if they stay out there longer than an hour and a half, they're going to get sunburned. That's
Yeah.
not how Allah places people on the planet.
No. No.
Just
No.
like
No.
the white Boers of South Africa, you
Yeah.
can tell they're not native to South Africa or to Africa because of how they dress. They have to wear the hat, they have to wear jackets
Yeah.
over their shirts,
Yeah.
or else they're going
Tight
to get
stuff.
burnt. They're going to be burned up. So that's the same thing for the Arabs. I know a lot of them don't want to hear that or didn't know that and still don't
Yeah.
want to hear that.
Yeah.
But we're living in a day when everything has to return to the fitrah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Original nature of things.
absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Continue.
Okay. So then,
Oh, let me just
I
say something about the yam that you're mentioning since we're on that subject.
yeah.
Uh, in Nunetics, as you know, we take into consideration every letter. So
Every
we
letter.
have to not only take into consideration what meme means, and meme is what can mean blood, water, or milk,
Mm-hmm.
but it has to be natural. It can't be soda pop.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, but the beginning of the word contains the consonant ya.
Yeah.
So it's yam. And ya simply refers to anything that stretches out. See, if I put
Mm-hmm.
blood on a piece of paper, it's going to spread.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I drop water somewhere, the water has a tendency to spread.
Yeah.
Same thing with the milk. You spill milk,
Yeah.
it's going to spread. So the
Yes.
ya represents the spreading out of something. So it's the spreading out of the blood that yam is referring to, or the spreading out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't call water that you've placed in a bathroom sink. You wouldn't refer to that as yam, but you would refer to the water that Allah placed in the ocean
Mm-hmm.
or the river that's able to move and spread out.
Yeah.
Now you have yam.
Yum. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you'll notice also that yam is the suffix for Maryam.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
know that she has something to do with extended emotionality. And we know how Allah describes Maryam in the Quran as
Yeah.
becoming very emotional to the point where she almost fainted. It was so much for her in the desert with her, with her pregnancy that she
Mm-hmm.
almost blacked out. And she said to Allah that I wish I had never been a thing thought about. That's a
Yeah.
lot of pressure. That's a
Yeah.
lot of
Lot of
extended
pressure.
emotionality. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
there are these words. You have tayammum.
Mm-hmm.
Yam is in that word. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they tell
Yeah.
us it's you out there washing yourself with dirt, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
get clean
It doesn't make
with
sense.
by rubbing rocks on your hand? I mean,
No.
come on now. So they've given us a bunch of fake, phony, fictitious meanings for these words that they adopted out of the Persian meanings of words.
Mm-hmm.
And the Persians adopted meanings out of the Arabic, the ancient Arabic language, but they gave their own meanings to them. So
Like
those of us
namaz.
who have
Yeah.
yes, namaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, where is
Yeah.
that in the Quran? But they say that
Yeah.
means the same as salat. No, no,
Yeah.
no way.
No. No. No.
So we now have to actually develop a system
Mm-hmm.
beginning with Nunetics, the understanding of each letter as it's based in the fitrah, which you see very prominently displayed behind me. I wanted to be in the
Yeah.
fitrah today talking to you,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But we have to be able to locate those letters in the fitrah. And if we pull the meanings from the fitrah and what the fitrah is suggesting to the intellect, then no human can come in and give us something different than what Allah gave it to us as, because they can't change the meaning of the leaf on that tree
It's
or the
already
wood on that
inscribed
fence.
in nature. Yes,
Definitely. All right, so go right ahead.
absolutely, yes. Also, because you mentioned Mariam, in Fulani as well, mother is Yum with double M,
Beautiful.
double M. That's Yum.
Ah,
So
yeah.
ya, mim and mim. That's Yum in
Yes,
Fulani.
yes,
It's mother.
yes, yes,
So it's no coincidence that the M is also double there, like it is done in
yes,
Mariam. Hold on.
yes,
Yeah, Mariam. Two M's. Yeah,
yes. But it's no coincidence that it begins with the yeah in
yeah,
Fulani, right?
yeah,
Because the
yeah,
yeah, as we said, represents the stretching forth, and we know that's really what mother's arms do.
yeah. Absolutely.
She's the one to pick that child up when the child is hurt. It's not the
Yeah,
father. The father would say, hey, brush it off. We got work
yeah,
to do.
yeah.
But the mother would say, let me look at the boo boo, and she'd take the baby in her arm. In fact, the English word arm is from the Fitra Arabic word um.
Boom. Okay.
So the addition of the ya
Hmm.
in Fulani is
Hmm.
giving you more expression to
Yeah.
what mother does, or even what community
Hmm.
ummah, to what the
Hmm.
ummah does. The ummah
Uh-huh.
is to be inclusive.
Exactly.
It's not to be distanced. There's
No,
no social distancing in the ummah,
no, no. We
right?
are social
It's to
beings.
it's to be collective,
Hmm.
embracing, inviting. Yes.
Hmm.
Please continue.
Okay.
You have
So,
me very excited today, Aziz.
thank
Yeah, I'm very excited.
you. Yeah. So a lot of things didn't make sense to me. Like, for example, I said to a friend who used to live in Saudi Arabia, I said to him, right, listen, if the Quran is to be understood literally, then Allah is only talking to men, mostly in the Quran. I said, why? No, Allah is talking to everyone. And then he quoted that verse, believing women, believing men, etc., in pairs. I said, okay, what about wudu? When he said, lamastumun nisa. So he got confused a little bit. So I said to myself, I will not take this thing literally. I will wait until I get a deeper understanding because it doesn't make sense to me at
Yes.
all.
Yes.
So that's what triggered my interest. Also, I saw that the Lunatics it spreads even to French. It's even scarier in French, like because that's our first language there over there in Senegal.
Yes. Yes.
It's like, for example, couvrir. Couvrir is to cover. It sounds like kufr,
Yes.
just like the English word cover, couvrir.
Yes. Same
So
words.
the V is just an F. We
That's
know
it.
that by now.
The
Yeah,
labial. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Lip
yeah,
sound. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So it runs across many languages. Also, I did a few analyses. For example, ghafar.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure whether you're gonna agree with this or not, but ghafar. The ghain, um, kind of like taken away. Gha is taken away, and then far is like the fur. So it takes away the fur, meaning Allah polishes you until you are clean. I don't know whether
Hmm.
this tallies with the meaning of ghafar or not, because ghafar, any usually words starting with gha, they have the connotation of something being taken away,
Yes.
although it has many meanings, many other
Yeah.
meanings, as you say in Lunatics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, in
absolutely.
Nunetics,
Hmm.
the Rhine
Hmm.
represents obstructed vision. So, in other
Uh-huh.
words, the vision is what is being
Hmm.
taken away,
Uh-huh.
your sight or your insight into something.
There's a
So,
dot there to
Allah,
be it. Yeah.
yes, Allah says, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ,
Hmm.
بِالْغَيْبِ. Those
Hmm.
who have
Hmm.
faith
In the unseen. Well, in
with,
with, yeah,
or in
between, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
unseen. It doesn't mean that you can't see it at all. It only
No.
means that your vision is being obstructed or obscured.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when we have to really strain to look at something because it's getting dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not that you can't see it because
Mm-hmm.
Ein is the eye. Ein. is the straining of the eye in order
Yeah.
to gain greater vision or
Mm-hmm.
greater clarity. So if we look at alim, ilm, those words that are connected to knowing something, to knowledge, it represents knowledge, but not just ordinary knowledge, knowledge that is gotten through your straining for understanding,
Mm-hmm.
you're contemplating, you're reevaluating,
Yeah.
you're what the Quran calls, when he asked the question, do they not yatadabbaru al-Quran? That
Mm-hmm.
that's straining,
Mm-hmm.
pondering over and over again, meditating on
Dabbaru.
it even.
Mhm. That
Yeah.
word,
So
interesting.
yes. So the Ghain represents that kind of in-depth.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me. Line represents that kind of obscurity from
Security.
getting directly to the in-depth
Mm-hmm.
knowledge.
The
You have to.
source.
That's why you have to have faith in it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. None of us can give you an in-depth understanding of who Allah is.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be here for the rest of our lives trying to explain him. He's indescribable. He's
He is.
incomparable.
No, he
Right.
is. Yeah.
So we can only know but so much about
Mm.
Allah from studying his fitrah, from studying his Quran, and from studying other things, from just the information that he sends to us through
Mm-hmm.
inspiration. We can know him like that, but only partially.
Yeah.
So to have faith bil ghaib is speaking to that phenomenon that you don't need to know it all
Mm-hmm.
to have faith in Allah. You
Mm-hmm.
just need to know what it is you know that brought you to faith.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
much more is being unraveled and unfolded as you continue to live, although you will never know everything there's to know about Allah. You'll never know everything there is to know about you.
True.
Forget about Allah. You won't even know you
Yeah. Yeah. Let alone
completely.
Allah.
Yeah, we don't know. Look, if we were to rip the skin off our bodies and just sit here as the blood and vessels and organs, we'd be scared to death of ourselves.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
these people want to rip the foldings off of Allah and tell you this is Allah.
Not possible.
I I don't want to know Allah on that level, you know?
No. No.
No, no, no. Yes,
And
sir. Go
it's
right ahead.
interesting. You mentioned yatadabbar. It also made me think that once you've gone beyond the letters, and then you are now in the realm of words, dabbara, dabbara,
Yes,
the letters, the meaning of a word can never be far from the letters. It can't. Stay focused, stay close to the letters. For example, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Dubur means back in Arabic.
yes,
So
literally. Yeah.
you have to go behind
Yes.
what is visible. Dubur. How can dubur be so different to yatadabbarun when they share the three letters?
It's the same concept.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
lunatics is the thing because I have confirmation. I have. Even if we go to Wolof, my other language, Wolof, I mentioned kaf. Kaf is kaf. If I go kaf
Yes.
in Wolof, yeah.
Yes.
In Fulani, kufne,
That's
hat,
right.
you know, like kaf is
And
a
in
head.
and in English,
Mm-hmm.
the labial letter uh fa, which gives you kuf, would
Mm-hmm.
be the labial letter P. So instead of
Mm.
kuf, it would be cup. And
Yes.
and and cap. This is my cap. That's your cap.
I'm going to
That's it.
confirm that. I'm going to
Yes.
confirm that because we have shops here, people from Bangladesh and other places like that.
Hmm.
They don't have F. I was buying a tea. I said to him, which tea do you recommend? He said to me, take this one. It keeps you fit. He meant fit. But he can't pronounce fit. He can only say pit.
Right. It's not in their
Suggesting
language.
suggesting that P and F and F is the
Yes.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
So
thing with
every
the
time,
Pakistanis. Same thing with the Pakistanis. They can
yeah.
pronounce sa, seen, but they can't pronounce fa, th. So
Uh-huh.
instead of Wallace, they say Wallace with an S, but we would say
Mm-hmm.
Warith with a
What is, yeah.
th. They
Yes.
say Azan with a Z,
Mm-hmm.
but we would say Adhan with a dh or th.
Yeah.
But it's the same concept. They're
Same
from
concept.
they're interchangeable as consonants. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
indeed.
And I said to a literalist person, um, we as Fulanis, we are cattle breeders. When you go to Africa, from west to east, when you see those people breeding cattle like cows, it's us. So I said to him, if Bakara meant meant a cow, nobody in this world would know cows, but we wouldn't need the Quran because we have in our language
Yeah.
many ways, like 20 something ways of saying a cow, depending on
All
what cow
right.
it is. So
Yes.
you can't teach a Fulani anything to do with cows. I said, therefore, how can Allah just send us the Quran with Baqarah meaning uh, the cow, meaning cow?
Yeah. Yeah.
There has to be something behind that. Yatadabbaruna. Behind
Yes.
that, but that Baqarah
Man, I'm
was,
loving you, man. I'm loving
yeah,
you, man. Yeah. Bring it. Bring it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we get confused when the letters, when the syllables are what we call in French metathèse, which is when you switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So, so for example,
Repositioning them. Yeah.
yeah, we get confused when we see that. When if you
Mm-hmm.
just stay with the letters,
Mm-hmm.
you might figure out what the meaning is. For example, in Wolof, karau means hair, the hair. Okay, hair. Karau. You go to a village about 100 meters or a few kilometers, they say kawar. See, from
Mm-hmm.
karau. So it's like this. Don't get confused. It's the same
Yes.
word.
Yes.
So it's the same, I think, in the Quran. When they say to us, this word, it means here. This it means praying here. All right.
Yes.
We see the same letters somewhere else in the Quran. They say it means something else.
Yes.
How is that? Allah cannot speak like that. He
Yeah.
does.
They were intentionally mismanaging the meanings of these words in the Quran to fit their particular political and economic scheme.
Yes.
Not everybody, not all scholars, but enough of them so that it has made an impact on the world. The other thing about the mismanagement, not the mismanagement, pardon me, the repositioning of letters in the Quran. Remember now, Allah is doing that in the
Mm-hmm.
Quran when He gives you, for instance, if I say, all right,
Papa,
dabara, as we just
papa,
mentioned,
papa.
uh, yeah, dabara.
Yeah.
Um, but then I say behind that, uh, daraba,
Yeah. Yeah.
same three phonemes.
Yeah.
You're a linguist, you know phonemes,
Yes, absolutely.
but interchanged in the word. Now, what's happening is that because each letter already has its own unique meaning, when
Mm-hmm.
you put more than one letter, two letters, three letters, even four and five letters sometimes, you not only have one word, you have a sentence. So
Mm-hmm.
when Allah rearranges the letters for particular words that contain the same phonemes, the same sounds,
Mm-hmm.
like even though dal and dod are two different letters, they
Mm-hmm.
represent the same idea in the in
Yeah.
the in the subconscious mind. Because the
Yeah.
subconscious mind is just hearing duh,
The. Yeah.
duh, whether it's dal or dod,
Yeah.
it's hearing
Absolutely.
duh, and it's the duh sound that's having the impact on the subconscious mind and what the meanings are that are clocked into your fitra. These
Mm-hmm.
sounds are already clocked into your fitra. All right. So the emphasis in the sentence is being changed.
Mm-hmm.
So if I say da ra ba
Mm-hmm.
and then say da ba ra,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the same thing that we can do in any language. We can
Yeah.
switch the emphasis that you're speaking to in the sentence. If I say, Johnny, close the door, I'm emphasizing door,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But if I ask the question, Johnny, is the door closed? Because I
Mm-hmm.
see he hasn't closed it yet.
Yeah.
It's the same words,
Same
but
words.
the emphasis.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Allah is doing in the Quran. He's allowing you to know what his emphasis is in that particular structure for that
Mm-hmm.
word or that sentence. So
Mm-hmm.
this way we know what to ponder most.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
should we be investigating Johnny, or should we be investigating the open door? Because something dangerous might come through that door.
Yeah. Yeah.
See? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hmm.
Sometimes he prioritizes certain syllables.
Yes. Yeah. The Quran is a book of priorities.
Mm-hmm.
the most essential, the most important priorities that Allah wants to bring to the human intellect for
Mm-hmm.
certain circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
See, so it's relative. What Allah is saying throughout the Quran are relative to particular conditions and situations that Allah needs to bring your attention to for you to resolve the issue that He's speaking to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. If you use the word harbon, harb, I don't know how you
Mm-hmm.
say that in Fulani,
Har,
but with
har,
yeah,
harbon. Hare.
harbon, yeah.
We say it hare. Like
Okay,
war.
okay.
War. Are you talking about war?
No, I'm talking about war. Oh yes, war. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Hare. We
We
say
talk.
hare without the
Yeah,
B, but in
yes,
Arabic it's harb. Yeah.
yeah. But
See, oh, you
see,
reminded me of another similarity.
well, listen.
Yeah.
Here's the beauty of this, Aziz.
Yeah.
You don't need all three letters to know what a word means because
Mm,
no word began with three letters. All words began
oh,
as proto roots,
yeah.
two letters,
Yeah.
and it's
Hare.
within the two
That's why we only
letters.
have the two.
That's why you can keep changing the third radical, like they do with
Ah,
salah. Sometimes there's a ha on the end. Sometimes there's the tal marbuta on the end. Sometimes
uh-huh.
So salat,
Mm,
the essential meaning for salat is built into the sod and the lam. When you add a different third radical, you're only redistributing the direction of your focus
mhm,
for that
mhm.
word.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
everything that you need to know about salah is clocked into sod lam. If you look at my video, I think I did it yesterday
Mhm.
with a young lady named Tanya Watson.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the sod and the lamb has to do with the preservation of something's essential life.
Essential.
That's all you need to
Absolutely.
know about salah.
Yeah. Vital
What is,
organs. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, in the
Yeah.
torso, right?
Yes.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
really only need to know once you know what the proto roots, and they don't teach you this in Arabic class,
No.
Arabic school, in the
No.
madrasa, in the masjid.
No.
They don't teach you about proto roots.
Mhm. Wow.
Two letters,
Two
two
letters.
letters. That's,
Yeah.
and I'm going to prove it to you. You might have seen this in one of my videos.
Mhm.
My hypothesis is
Mhm.
that all words began as proto-root words,
Yeah.
never as trilateral words, three-letter
Mhm.
words,
Yeah. Yeah. You
never.
said that. You said that. Yeah.
That's like saying your baby became 3 years old before he became 2 years old.
Yeah.
No, he had to become 2 years old first.
Yeah.
Then he became three. So most of the ancient words
Mhm.
in AFHEA
Mhm.
are two-letter words. When
Yeah.
I say ancient words, I mean those things that are closest to you, like your mother,
Mhm. Mhm.
alif mim, your
Mhm.
father, alif
Yeah.
bait, your
Yeah.
brother,
Mhm.
alif fa, as well
Mhm.
as your sister, right? Ukhti, the same thing.
Okay.
The place you live in, that when you woke up to consciousness, you were in a house, bait.
Right.
Ba, the ya is a vowel, so you don't
Mhm.
count it. It's just the
Mhm.
bait, ta.
Mhm.
And you can keep going on and on and on. You can go throughout the dictionary, just look for two letter roots.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's your
Yeah.
original language. And that's
Yeah.
where the core meanings for any word has been power packed by Allah
Yes.
in the double meanings. Allah said He created everything zawjain.
So again, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, من نفس واحدة, زوجها, and then بث
Yeah.
منهما, yeah, رجال
Yeah. Yeah.
كثيرة. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's language He's speaking to also. How
Yeah.
language grows and develops, not just
Mhm.
people or animate forms. Yeah. That's also how language. That's why
Yeah.
we call language by words that we call people by. We say family groups of languages
Yeah.
because when you study the family, the genetics,
Mhm.
I have something that I use or invented actually called letter genetics.
Mhm.
Yeah, words have genes.
Mhm.
Now science is telling me that the cosmos itself has DNA, cosmic DNA.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that ability to come into existence, to find your um, complementary mate, everything
Mhm.
in creation has a complementary mate that's
Mhm.
allowing it to stay here and reproduce.
Mhm.
Once you are able to do that, now you have the necessary ingredients for the proliferation
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
language, of life forms,
Yeah.
of anything that you begin to study. But it begins with the two. So you have to
Yeah.
find the first two first. I've been talking recently on the concept of evolution,
Mhm.
but science never tells you about its complementary mate called involution.
Involution. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You are a
Initial
product of
phase.
involution. Yeah, you're a product of involution before you become a product of evolution or evolution.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All
I
right.
never thought of that until I listened to your program about. Yeah, it's good.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
If I was able
And
to help
this,
anybody in any way with that.
absolutely. The only thing that I'm not clear of is seniority, because in Fulani we say harre only, the ha and the ra for war. And Arabic says harb. I'm thinking, is Fulani more senior than Arabic? I'm not sure about things like that yet.
It can be,
It can be.
in some instances, Sanskrit maybe. In some in some instances, there are several. I can name 4 or 5 languages that are probably older than
Yeah.
what we call Arabic. Arabic, as far as the linguists are concerned, it came into being about 4,000 years ago. It's just a pretty young
What that?
language.
Oh, so
Yeah, about
so okay.
4,000 years.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
when Allah uses Arabiya, He's not addressing a timeline for language.
No.
Whenever Allah said kun fayakun to
Mm-hmm.
any and everything in the creation, that was the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of Arabiya, because Arabiya is not the spoken language of any particular ethnic group on this planet. It's the
Mm-hmm.
language of nature. So whenever
Mm-hmm.
nature got here,
Mm-hmm.
whatever nature was saying to the intellect of any of its creatures, including the
Mm-hmm.
animals, the insects, they're all being spoken to by nature
Mm-hmm.
and by their genes. Their genes are speaking to them, giving them instructions. So the genes are actually the primary language portal that we might call the uh, the instinctive nature. All creatures have instincts that are telling them what to do, how to build a nest, how to feed your young. They're not
Mm-hmm.
going to school for that. That's built into their genetics.
Yeah.
All of that is what I'm referring to as Arabiya Mubin. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not the study of what they're giving you in the madrasa. I repeat that. It's not the study of what you're getting in Masjid al-Haram. An interesting name,
No.
right?
No.
It's not that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the study of the fitrah.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do it consciously. Imam
Yeah.
W.D. Muhammad, you've heard me talk about him over and over again. He's my hero.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first one I heard say that the fitrah cannot benefit you unless you become conscious of the fitrah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no information can benefit you unless you think about it. And how do I
It,
place it? How do I use it?
you have to be muttaqi,
Yes.
taqwa. You have to focus
Yes.
on it. Be
That's where the
attentive to it.
taqwa is. Yeah. People
Yeah.
think the taqwa is here.
It's like fear. No, it's not fear.
The
It's
the
taqwa.
the
Fear
the
Allah.
the the taqwa that is most effective is in the consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah. Lil
Taqwa is a water quality also, which I believe
mm,
is where the Spanish language gets agua
agua.
and where the
Okay.
Greeks get aqua.
Aqua. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dame un vaso de agua. Give me a glass of water, right? But
Yeah.
agua, because the T on taqwa is a prefix. It's not part of the
Mhm.
word.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Yeah.
You see, and
Yeah.
any word that has Q in it, off,
Mm-hmm.
is going to be dealing with a water property in you.
Oh wow. Okay.
Even in English,
Mm-hmm.
liquid.
Liquid.
Pour me a
Okay.
quart of juice. Buy me a quart of orange juice.
Yes.
It's going to
Mm.
be liquid because
Yeah.
Q, even in English, the circle
Mm-hmm.
and then the spout it's
Mm-hmm.
a water barrel
Yeah.
like the ancient maidens used to
Yeah.
carry,
Yeah. The
and it would
Fulanis when
come
they
out.
go,
Yeah,
they
yes,
put it
you would
here.
know that.
Yeah.
Yes, they put
Of
it right on
course.
the waist, right?
Yeah.
And it was always a woman, never a man. The water
Mm-hmm.
bearers in history were never men, not even in the Bible. When
Mm-hmm.
Moses went to get somebody to water the sheep, he got the man's daughters to do it, Rachel and whoever else was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so the Q is not only a water property, but it's also a feminine letter because of
Mm-hmm.
the circle.
Mm-hmm.
All circles, all ovals, like the
Mm-hmm.
vulva of the woman, like the pregnant stomach of the woman,
Yeah.
all circles represent feminine qualities. Now, feminine doesn't always mean female.
No. No.
Feminine is a principle that represents that which can be affected by an outside agent.
Absolutely.
See, so a pregnancy, you don't become pregnant until you're affected by the outside agent called the sperm.
Mm-hmm.
You see, anything
Yeah.
that's open is vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I have a water well, you see the mouth of the well at the top is round.
Yeah.
I can come by and drop some poison in there and
Mm-hmm.
poison the whole family
Yeah.
because anything open represents vulnerability.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Make
That's why
sense?
Allah asked us to close, to guard our openings.
Yes.
But
All
but
openings.
all they
All
think
openings.
is all they think about is sex.
Yeah, but
It's not that.
you have five openings in your head alone.
Yeah. Guard your openings. Like
Yeah, you have the
news,
Allah talks about the seven doors, right?
CNN.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Allah speaks about the seven doors to hell and the
Mm-hmm.
seven doors to heaven, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So one door, your eye,
Mm-hmm.
open, open.
Yeah.
Two doors,
Yeah.
three doors,
Mm-hmm.
four doors,
Mm-hmm.
five doors,
Yeah.
the other nostril, six doors, and the open mouth is the seventh door.
So,
That's how
okay.
you get to heaven or how you get
Mm-hmm.
to Jahannam. You can go through, it's your choice. It
Mm-hmm.
depends on what your senses become open to.
Yeah.
If they become open to poison, breathing in poisons, toxins, if your eyes become, acclimated for nothing but pornography or whatever your brain is choosing for you, then you're going to suffer the consequences of what you opened those senses to,
Oh yeah.
you
Of
see?
course.
But you're absolutely right. All of these senses are feminine. They're open. They're all
Mm-hmm.
feminine.
Mm-hmm. And we need to guard them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Not to mention your sex organs, which also
Yeah.
have openings.
Yeah.
See, the man is walking around thinking I'm masculine because I have a penis. But
Oh,
in reality,
yeah.
the penis is also feminine.
Yeah.
Science can prove that because every human life form began as a female.
You said it this morning or yesterday.
Yes, I did. It's proven by science. Science, no, this
Mm-hmm.
is common knowledge. Ask anybody who does sonograms in the hospital. Say
Mm-hmm.
in the first manifestation of that life form in the sonogram,
Mm-hmm.
uh, can you tell whether it's a male or female? They'll tell you all life forms in their very beginning, in their embryonic stage before they become a fetus. The embryo is always feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's later that Allah says, I guess is, kun fayakun, or whatever Allah says. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it then uh changes from
Mm-hmm.
female. If Allah chooses for it to be a male, that's when the penis will begin to appear.
The female
But
is the default.
yeah, but that
But
penis,
in society,
yeah, it's born
in
out
society,
of the
yeah.
it's born out of the construction of the vagina. And
Yeah.
this is higher science now. A lot of people won't be able to grasp this.
Mm-hmm.
But those who study on that level, and I won't introduce it here because we have a general audience, but maybe one day you and I can have a more specific
Mm-hmm.
conversation about gender differentiation. Yeah, it's a big topic of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your
Yeah.
your 10-year-old boy says, "I feel like a girl," and then they take him into an operating room, forget what the parents think, and then
Mm-hmm.
they clip and tuck and shave and all of that, and all of a sudden he comes out thinking he's a woman because he no longer has his male property. They're
Yeah.
fooling the world. This has to be Satan doing this. I can't think of a regular human being
No.
introducing these crazy, unnatural concepts into the world.
Must
But
be Iblis.
yeah, but the whole universe is feminine, principally speaking. That's why it's
Yeah.
called uni. Uni is just from the Sanskrit word yoni, which is
Yeah.
the feminine part. I don't know if you have an equivalent word in Fulani, but universe means that the whole verse,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the whole book
Yeah.
is actually born out of a feminine principle. Now, it doesn't mean
Principle.
that
Yeah.
everything is feminine. There's no
No.
masculine.
No.
When Allah uses a feminine idea or object in the Quran, it's just to tell you that it can be affected. Be more careful of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Guard your openings, as you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Because those things can be influenced by outside agents. That's why the woman is given more security in the Quran than the man.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to dress with an extra layer of something when she's out in the public
Mm-hmm.
because she's more open. She's more open because she's magnetism.
Yes.
He is electricity. You live in an
Right?
electromagnetic
Magnetic.
universe.
Yes,
So
definitely.
you don't want your magnetic woman walking out in the public with hardly nothing on with a bikini and and all these wolves are out here because
Yeah.
she's going to magnetize their attention towards her. The
Yes.
male doesn't magnetize attention to him unless he's really GQ walking down the street. He's got, something unusual
Mm-hmm.
on that most people don't see all of
Mm-hmm.
the time. But
Mm-hmm.
her, all she's got to have is some T's and A's
Mm-hmm.
prominent. And the average male, even the average female, is going to look at her and go, "Wow, I wish I had a body like that."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She's a magnet. So Allah says you have to wear this particular kind of outer cloak or outer clothing or jilbab or jalabi or khimar,
Mm-hmm.
to cover the breasts, not to cover the head necessarily, to cover the breasts. Khimar is that which obscures this part of the body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So I have
A lot.
about 10 more minutes left.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still in
Sure.
the middle
A
of
lot to
moving
say.
and family
Yeah. Of
members and
course.
that, but I had to
Oh
put
yeah.
this
Yeah.
call in. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of
Of
your,
course. We can call it a day and then
yeah,
talk
yeah.
another
And
time. Of
we can
course.
do
No
this every
problem.
week, my friend. We can do this every
Yeah.
week.
No worries. Yes.
But
Yes.
listen,
Absolutely.
listen, join the
Mhm.
class.
I will. Of course. I just didn't
Yeah.
know how to.
Okay. All you have to do,
Mhm.
I'm going to, yeah, I have your number. Yeah, I'm going to text you.
Yeah.
In fact, with your
You want my
permission,
phone number?
I have it. Yes. In your email. I have your email and your phone number. So I'm going to
Oh yeah.
email
Oh.
you. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
going to email you the website.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I sent you the link for this, so I have your email. So I'm going to
Mhm.
email you the website
Yeah.
that you can just go real quick and go ahead and join the class. And
Yeah.
it's the website will also have all of my 19 books,
Oh
which
yes.
you might be familiar with that already. Okay. But it's nuneticinstitute.org, O-R-G.
I've only got three of them
Nunetics.
so far.
Okay, you got 17, 18 to go because I'm coming out with a new one next week. The second book on the Salat, the true
Oh, I'm
meaning
waiting for that one.
of
I already emailed.
Yes, yes.
I
Yeah.
already
Don't pay for it yet. Don't pay for it yet.
not yet. No.
I'm putting the finishing touches on it, and it is
Yeah.
blowing my mind. I can imagine what it's going to do to
Yeah.
yours.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Allah is really just downloading because this
Mm-hmm.
issue of Salat needs to be dealt with and done with.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Yeah. What I
Perfect.
said yesterday to
Mm-hmm.
Tanya
Mm-hmm.
was that should have been enough for the average thinker to say,
Mm.
well, I don't know what Salat is, but I definitely know what it's not.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
one should have been enough
I'm
for
yet to
that.
figure out what it is, but I'm sure it's not the gymnastics.
Logical deduction. You have to figure out what is not.
Uh-huh.
Einstein had to go through 99 inventions before he could figure out that last one that was like eureka.
Yeah.
But he had to figure out what that experiment could not
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my
Absolutely.
process. I'm a word scientist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been purposely holding back on the fullness of the meaning of salat
Mm-hmm.
because I need your brain to become activated first.
Mm-hmm.
After what I have to present through books 1 and book 2, there will
Mm-hmm.
be no more argument. If there's still an argument, it won't be with me because I'm not going to answer you. I'm not going to answer
Absolutely.
any critics after that because it means you haven't done your homework.
Yes.
If you want to hold on to the old traditional ways that they
Mm-hmm.
adopted from the ancient pagan Arabs of the time, the
Mm-hmm.
Turks actually, you want to hold
Mm-hmm.
on to what they introduced. You want to hold on to what the ancient Iranians introduced, the ancient Persians. They introduced the concepts through their namaz
Zoroastrians. Mm-hmm.
system. Yeah, you want to go ahead. I'm not going to argue. I'm going to be crazy, take time,
Yeah.
argue with you. You still
Absolutely.
saying salat is namaz. You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
That's not you, of course. That's my
Yeah. I
message
know.
to the audience.
Of
You
course.
still
Yeah. I
believe
know.
in that stuff? You out of your mind.
Of course.
And we're trying to
I
help you
think
get
after the
back
second
into
book,
your mind.
because
Yes.
the first book is like it stopped somewhere, and I
Yeah.
wanted it to continue.
Yes.
That's why I want the second book.
That's
Yeah.
that's what volume 2 is all about.
Yeah. Yeah. All the
Okay.
chakras in the brains and stuff. Cool.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All
Thank you
right,
very
man.
much
Again,
for
this is
this
my pleasure. This is
fruitful
my pleasure.
interaction.
Yeah, it's
I
no
very much
problem.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, so the quicker you go ahead and join, you'll see all of the
Hmm.
stipulations for how to join. That means
Yeah.
that from that point on, you get everything that I've ever done.
Okay. Yeah.
You have access to everything I've done. If even if I go retro and give
Hmm.
you what I call my blast from the past, I mean I have lectures from man, early 2000,
Mm-hmm.
2003, 2007
Yeah.
of information that I had long forgotten,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still necessary. So
Yeah.
I put it out anyway. So most of it is on the YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
that I wanted the public to know, but a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things that I didn't want to introduce into the public,
Mm-hmm.
that's the information that I share with the people who join the class.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll continue to have these kinds of one-on-ones because I
Mm-hmm.
want my class, who has been with me mostly for 3, 4, 5, some of them for 7 straight years.
Mm-hmm.
This is semester 22. That's a
Oh, wow.
You
Mm.
count these semesters 3 months. That's a few years worth of
Yeah.
teaching.
Yes.
Every
Yeah.
week, sometimes 3 and 4 times a week, I teach. So
Wow.
those are my archives.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But in this semester 22 is the first time that I'm having a lot of these one-on-ones because I want the public to also know how the people are benefiting.
Yeah.
They're not just passive listeners. They're not up in the bleachers. They're
Mm-hmm.
out in the field. They're out in the field throwing the ball. You threw the ball back to me. Wow, okay, I got that. Now let me throw one at you. Boom. Now you tell me what that means. Oh, I didn't think about that. We have to get out of the bleachers as
Yeah.
learners and into the field. That's why they call
Absolutely.
knowledge fields of study. You don't sit in
Fields.
the bleachers.
No.
You come in and pick up, do something, stand on first base or whatever, or go for the layup, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
even if you miss, do
Yeah.
something. All right.
Absolutely. Okie
All right.
dokie.
Okay.
That was so fruitful and amazing. So
Alhamdulillah.
I'm going to definitely join the classes.
Yeah. Okay. And while you're there, feel free to order your Unetics cap. Comes in different colors,
Oh
and
yeah,
and,
oh,
and your Unetics T-shirt, of
t-shirt,
course,
of course, to
comes
propagate
in different
the
colors.
information.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause that's what
Let
Allah
people
wants.
ask you what is that. Yeah. And
Yeah,
see on the back, if you
yeah.
can see it. I don't know if you can see the back.
Um,
Can you read that?
yes,
Can you
yes.
read all of it?
Seed letters that produce root words which sprout branches of knowledge.
Enough
That's
said.
wow.
All right. Aziz, I
Okay.
appreciate your presence so much, man. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
All
Much
right.
appreciated.
Yes,
And
sir.
see you soon.
Yes, and I will email this replay. It'll be on YouTube,
Yeah.
but I'll also email it to you personally.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so
Greetings to you and
much.
your family. Yes, sir. Salam
Greetings.
alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Bye bye.
Right.